Big Bug, Ahsoka, Tano. Oh, you got an Ahsoka book.
Oh gosh, the Luke and Ahsoka shippers are killing me. What is it with people and just do it? Why is it the Star Wars ships are always creepy and gross? Stop it. They have
the funny thing is,
that's his aunt. Leave her alone.
people have said that like it's probably just like a one night stand, and I'm like, you know what? I can see that, but like honestly, I don't want that.
No, nobody. Why?
Just leave them alone.
Holy crap!
Let them be virgins. Okay,
it's fine.
Ahsoka's definitely not a virgin.
Ahsoka?
Definitely not.
Probably not.
Probably
Luke,
not.
yes.
Oh yeah, Luke
died a virgin.
Yeah, he died. Literally died a virgin.
Oh.
Ahsoka definitely not.
No,
because she's not a Jedi.
I am not a Jedi, but I just follow them around and do basically what they do.
Yeah.
I love being pretentious.
Like a patron and not talk to the show's host. This is what happens. Respond to our shit posts.
So welcome back to the dimecomicbros podcast.
You're a cuck.
Thanks. Only for you. I am joined by Collin. Jacob is away on business with the mafia, of course, as usual.
Of course.
He's trying to get involved with his ex-lover in, what country was that, Romania or something?
Turkey?
It's getting messy.
It's in Turkey.
Somewhere over there. Gobble, gobble.
Why'd you say it like you're like, gobble, gobble?
I don't know.
The question. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so we like nerd stuff, and we're all poor.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it. Jacob loves reemphasizing who we are and what we do, and saying our mission statement over and over and over again. Maybe one day he'll believe it, but until then, we're gonna keep buying full-priced omnibuses.
Literally, I don't like that the thing that when he came up with that, like saying that we should probably like restate it every single time. I'm like, why? It's just so dumb to me. It's just so dumb. I don't get. People know, or people honestly don't care about that.
Yeah, I'd say probably more on the end of people don't care.
Literally, no one cares.
But Jacob cares.
I guess. I don't
Kanye
know
cares.
Yee.
That's a Jacob reference. Anyways,
Yee.
So, shall we yeet into the news for the past 2 weeks, my good sir?
You did it weirdly this time.
I sent it's a Drive document.
I know.
It's easier for me,
weird.
and I just realized I hadn't been saving anything, and I kind of want to do that. Don't ask me why. It makes my life easier.
In an interview with DN.se, actor Stellan Skarsgård confirmed that Andor will be receiving a second season. The actor told the Swedish publication that after a brief break, he'll be returning to a few sets, including Andor come this fall. Okay.
I'm not exactly super stoked about that, but
Sure.
I did really enjoy the character, and I was glad that they are giving him a show. So it's cool that they're probably doing more. It's not much to that, I guess. It's just a soft confirmation.
Yeah.
A bit of a oopsie doopsie fucky wucky. Sony Pictures has released the main poster for Morbius, coming exclusively to cinemas on April 1st.
It's not coming out. Not happening.
I mean, true, but the poster is horrible. It's another one of those floating head Marvel posters.
No shit.
Dude, the last poster was okay. Like, the teaser poster, the colors were egregious,
You know
but like
who's
the shadow arm thing, that was kind of cool.
You know who's the only one that can do good floating head posters? Mike Daddy himself.
True.
Mike Mignola.
Oh, yeah.
He can do everything well.
That's the only way that it's like good is if it's like in art form, not like
It's true.
real life people. I don't get.
I always hate those
If it's
posters.
like posters
Star
to
Wars,
do with like
Star
real
Wars is
people.
originally, because Star Wars started doing that first, but also those were painted and drawn at first.
The first one was drawn.
And the
that was a
prequel-
drawn picture.
And the prequel posters still worked pretty well. And some of the sequel posters are okay. Some. But
some of the Last Jedi ones are actually pretty good.
I like the IMAX posters.
Like the red ones?
Yeah, the ones that have the ones that actually play with it instead of just being a bunch of heads on a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones. Some of those are really, really good.
It's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's better than what we've had before.
Speaking of posters,
Lucasfilm released the first poster for Obi-Wan Kenobi, as well as announcing the premiere date, May 25th, exclusively on Disney+.
I came
This
so hard.
is so good. I actually like
so
the poster. It's not floating heads. It's him in the sand in the dunes of Tatooine.
I mean, rip, back to Tatooine we go. But
Yeah, I mean, we're always going back.
it's just a thing you have to get over. And he's holding Rey's lightsaber.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up! It's not Rey's lightsaber.
I know. It's a joke. Holy shit! It's so clearly a joke.
It's not Rey's lightsaber. It's not.
Yeah. It's a good poster. It's nice.
It's
The
good.
colors look good.
I do like.
He looks. Mwah.
I'm glad that's on May 4th. People were being pissy about that, but those are the same people that don't realize that May 25th is the first time that we ever were introduced to the character Obi-Wan Kenobi.
People are so weird about stuff.
In the original Star Wars movie.
Oh, so happy about this.
That's so great.
Honestly, I think at least for me, the one not really concern, the fact that, because we know Hayden's coming back to be Darth Vader in some capacity, whether in flashbacks or current time, we don't know.
I'm concerned about him having red eyes or not.
Well, they'll definitely do the red eyes.
He better have red eyes.
Well, obviously they'll do that. But the one thing with that I'm concerned about is it was never really made super clear. I think the implication in A New Hope is that they haven't seen each other since Mustafar, or whatever their final confrontation was. We didn't know what it was at the time. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't stated explicitly. I think they're going to use that to their advantage, and they're going to make them clash at least once. And
yeah.
I just hope it's done tastefully. I really don't want it to be like, guys, they've been fighting for the past 20 years. Like, bro,
no.
You can't, when Darth Vader's like, oh, I haven't felt this presence. Like, you can't push it. Mm-hmm. I think doing something maybe on like a Rogue One level of like, obviously a butt ton of flashbacks would be excellent. If we see Hayden in Clone Wars gear, I'm going to cry. But like, if we get they came like really close, like close quarters, but maybe they didn't fight, or they just like they brushed past each other. Like that, I think would be a little bit better.
Well, so what he says is the last time that I left you.
Yeah, that's the weird.
That's the thing that they're gonna play off of.
Probably,
and I'm okay with that.
I just hope it's done well.
As long as it's not like a over choreographed lightsaber fight. If it's even a lightsaber fight, I could imagine it being like it's an encounter. They're about to fight. They clash lightsabers once, and then some force of like whatever is happening in their surroundings,
something's gonna
pulls them back.
I hope it's something like that.
And he leaves, and then that's how it ends.
I would be very okay with that. The thing that I'm getting, I think because of Book of Boba Fett really made clear to me is they didn't learn the lesson from the movies of having a plan. Because the shows, whilst not totally cobbled together, obviously, I don't think the post Return of the Jedi stuff, I don't really think they have a plan there. Just with how Boba Fett was going, I really think they're just flying by the seat of their pants, which makes me a little scared. But also, this show is very disconnected from that era. Same thing with Andor, so I'm hoping it doesn't run into that problem. I don't want them to bring him back, God and God's son himself, and then have it just be like mid. Like at that point, it's not even worth it. This had better knock it out of the park, or I'm gonna be extremely upset. Moving on, before more, from DCComics.com. In the original Crisis on Infinite Earths by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, the homeworld of Pariah, along with the infinite multiverse, was obliterated. Now this mad soul survivor has found a way to bring his homeworld and the entire infinite multiverse back from the dead. Earth Zero must die. An ancient destructive force called the Great Darkness, first appearing in Swamp Thing by Alan Moore and Stan Walk, is the weapon Pariah will wield as he paves a path to rebirth and vengeance. In DC's next big event, Dark Crisis, the heroes left behind must come together to combat this great evil and save the lost Justice League. But what happens when not everyone agrees to join the fight? Dark Crisis is a monthly event written by Joshua Williamson, featuring art by Daniel Semper, colors by Alexandra Sanchez, and lettering by Tom Napolitano, that will kick off with Dark Crisis number 0, Free Comic Book Day Special Edition, available on Free Comic Book Day. A special one-shot, Justice League Road to Dark Crisis number 1, will be available at local comic shops on May 31st. Quote, Dark Crisis is an epic DCU event about legacy, end quote, said writer Joshua Williamson. Quote, it will have all the giant fun cosmic battles and multiversal set pieces, but it's not about reboots, retcons, or rewriting time and space. At its core, it's about the characters and the relationships that we've seen built over DC's great history. Dark Crisis spins out of Justice League number 75's Death of the Justice League and connects all the story threads across the DCU since Infinite Frontier Zero in a major way, unifying the new legacy of the DCU as we honor the classic. You can't miss it, end quote. Quote, to me, Dark Crisis is a big celebration for all DC fans, end quote, said artist Daniel Semper. and, quote, "It's a huge event full of epic heart, an event that embraces the past while looking to the future. Joshua and I are the biggest DC fans, and this is our love letter to these characters and this universe," end quote. Dark Crisis is not only an epic battle of good versus evil with epic surprises in store, but is about showing how heroes relate to each other when faced with the impossible. I'm actually very excited for this, specifically because they emphasize that it's not about changing any continuity shenanigans, and it's just about telling a story. It looks good. It's nice that it's linking up with all of the, because there's the Infinite Frontier book, the Justice League book, there's another team book I don't remember the name of off the top of my head. They're all coming together for the event, but it's not fucking around with like stuff. It's like fun and like it's related to other crises, but it's not. I don't know. It's just because it's so soon after the last reset, and when they did the big one and they said, fuck it, everything's kind of canon, whatever. Mm-hmm. At first when I saw the title, I'm like, Crisis. Oh shit, here we go again. But it's like, no, we're just like having fun. Like that's good, and Williamson's a really good writer, so I'm looking forward to it. Exclusive from Variety.com, Hollywood is about to stampede into Middle-earth. An array of movie, merchandising, gaming, and live events rights to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and other titles from author J.R.R. Tolkien are coming up for auction now that the Saul Zaentz Co. has decided to sell its Tolkien holdings. Zaentz Co. has hired ACF Investment Bank to handle the sale process, which is unfolding this week as bankers make the rounds of the logical Hollywood buyers. The Tolkien properties are projected to fetch at least $2 billion, based on recent high valuations for top-tier IP and content producers. Representatives for Zaentz Co. and ACF declined to comment. The timing of the sale process is not accidental. Amazon is set to premiere its long-awaited, mega-budgeted TV series, a rendition of the enduring Lord of the Rings saga, Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, on September 2nd. Amazon is at the top of the list of prime candidates to pursue the additional rights now held by Zaentz. The Zaentz Co. holdings encompass rights to exploit LOTR and The Hobbit properties in film, video games, merchandising, live events, and theme parks. It also includes limited matching rights should the Tolkien estate decide to make movies or other content based on two compilations of Tolkien writings that were published after his death in 1973, The Silmarillion and The Unfinished Tales of Numenor and Middle-earth. Warner Bros. Also maintains some film development rights to LOTR through its ownership of New Line Cinema. New Line has had massive global box office hits and Oscar wins with director Peter Jackson's trilogy, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and Return of the King. Warner Bros. last year announced plans for an anime theatrical feature to be produced with New Line and Warner Bros. Animation, The Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim. But it's understood that in the Zaentz Co.'s view, substantial live-action film rights reverted back to them last year in part because Warner Bros. Has not been actively developing new LOTR and related content. That development, plus the anticipation for the new Amazon series, was enough to convince Zaentz Co. that the time was ripe for a sale. Warner Bros. Declined to comment, but it is believed that the studio and Zaentz Co. are already at odds over who controls what when it comes to LOTR and The Hobbit rights, which have been the subject of extensive litigation over the years. Yeah, the history of the rights stuff is insane. Basically, this company owns some of the rights for specific parts of the Tolkien estate and making adaptations, but not all of them. Some of them are still owned by WB and their subsidiaries. This company's looking to sell. Amazon's probably going to buy them because Amazon has some rights, but not all of the rights, but only to certain properties. And apparently Jeff Bezos has a really big hard-on for Lord of the Rings, so he probably will want to buy those. And WB hasn't been producing much LOTR content for a while, so they may not try to scoop those up. Rights are complicated. On the one hand, it makes me interested if Amazon gets them because, as the next thing will show, I think Amazon's doing well with the rights that they do have, but also I don't want Jeff Bezos getting any more money. I'm fucking tired of Lex Luthor. Mm-hmm. But it'd probably be better than them reverting to WB buying them out, because WB having rights is what fucked over the Hobbit movies, because there were like 18 different companies involved in those movies, and that's why they got so screwed over. Versus when the original trilogy was made, it was just New Line Cinema that owned the rights, and then WB bought them out, and then WB had a bunch of other so many fingers in those pies. It's insane. Any thoughts?
Nope. No thoughts behind these eyes. Amazon released the first images of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, via Variety magazine. I saw those.
They look really good.
Yeah, they're fine.
Much happy.
They're cool. Amazon released the first teaser trailer for The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power during the Super Bowl, coming to Amazon Prime Video September 2nd. I didn't watch it.
You didn't?
I wasn't watching the Super Bowl.
Ball.
I wasn't either because I was forced to work, but I did watch the trailer. It looks really good. So as I'm sure you probably have noticed because you've been on the internet, the fandom is...
Black elves! Black elves! What is this? What is that? I was actually talking to a friend about that, and he was like, well, technically, like, if you look at the definition of elves, they're like pale people.
They're actually not. There are canonical dark elves and dark elf races in Middle-earth.
I wish you would let me finish my fucking sentence, and then you could have added that on.
Let me eat your prolapsed asshole.
Because I was going to say, well, black people can still be considered as pale.
True.
Pale doesn't mean white. Pale, most of the time, means sickly looking.
It's
or
relative.
Like, yeah, it's relative.
It's a relative
black
term.
guy can be pale.
Yeah, there are literally derogatory terms for that within, like, the various African like communities.
Yeah.
Like there are slurs for light or dark people.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are in canon, not just what we've been shown, which we have been shown in movies.
This friend wasn't angry about this, by the way. This friend isn't angry. He was just more like confused. Like, I don't really care, but like also if we're going to go by definition, because he's like, I don't know where to stand on this. I don't know if it's like people are just trying to be this way to make other people happy, or if this is just something that's just like, this is a good actor, let's have them.
Yeah. No, there are in just movie canon, there are dark elves, there are plenty of dark people, there aren't as many.
There is dark elves.
But also, they're not literally called dark elves, but also in Tolkien lore, there are literally entire subspecies referenced as being dark. So
really?
That's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing. There are two other concerns, quote unquote, that are coming up, and that's one of the dwarf women seemingly not having beards. That's
because they're supposed to.
I'm frankly of two minds on this. One, holy cow, people get really upset over really small things. But two, it's an adaptation for one.
Yeah.
So maintaining the spirit of something doesn't mean all the details will be the same. The film canon of Lord of the Rings is sped up like insane by comparison to the books. It takes place over like 10 years versus like 100. Whatever the hell. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah, like the timeline is condensed a lot. Wow. Because it creates a sense of urgency. Frodo didn't leave the Shire in Lord of the Rings for like 50 years after getting the ring. He was just vibing.
Really?
Yeah. But it's an adaptational choice.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that could be coming into play here. Also, there could be a specific reason for that. I don't know, maybe this specific, because we were shown a dwarf princess who doesn't have a beard, one in a still image. So there could be a plot relevance to that. Who knows? Like, calm down.
Maybe we just want attractive dwarf women.
And that's the other thing is like, okay, yeah, it's ironic. Like, you do realize they are trying to like sell people this. Like, I get it if you're. I vaguely understand being an absolute diehard. I've literally read every word that Tolkien wrote in this universe. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I know this shit, but also it's an adaptation. Mm-hmm. Let it make some different choices. It's making up most of this story. Most of this is pulling a couple of pieces and they're making their own story because of how the rights work and whatever. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, it looks really good. People are also pissed off about short-haired elves. Literally grow the hell up.
Whatever.
Nowhere in Tolkien lore does it say explicitly that elves exclusively have long hair. It's implied, and whatever, who cares? It looks nice. The production stuff looks really good. I think I was talking to my dad about this. It looks like it's going to be an implied canon to the movies because they're not made by the same companies, nor with most of the same production stuff. But because it most likely won't contradict anything directly, you can put them side by side.
Yeah.
I was trying to find an example and I couldn't think of one, but there are things that have done this before where it's like it doesn't link up at all because it can't. It's not allowed to. Mm-hmm. But it's still canon sort of deal. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited. And by excited, I mean I won't kill myself until I've at least watched this. So you are safe for now. Moving on from this. It just looks good. I'm happy.
Warner Brothers.
Bonk, mine.
No, I want this. Warner Brothers Pictures and DC released a teaser trailer for their 2022 theatrical DC films, including The Batman, Black Adam, The Flash, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, featuring new footage from all 4 films. So let me just say this real quick. Every time people say the Batman, I'm like, wait, what Batman movie is coming out? Are we talking about Ben Affleck? Is he getting a Batman movie? And then I'm like, oh shit, The Batman. Because every time I think of The Batman, it is vastly different from these other superhero movies. It's so different that I'm like, this. I forget that it's not made. That it's made by DC.
Yeah.
Or it's made by Warner Brothers. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
There wasn't a whole lot more Batman footage. I'm
glad there's not more.
Same. I haven't been paying super close attention to the TV spots. They're doing seemingly a good amount of reusing footage and like expanding on it, but not really showing anything, which is cool. I'm just ready for this thing to come out. So out in like 2 weeks.
Already.
Freaking so excited.
I'm like
Black Adam looks very good.
Dr. Fate has no eyes.
I like that. I like it.
I don't know how to feel about it.
I think I was talking to Jake.
That's like a very small detail.
I think I was talking to Jacob about it. Even if the movie isn't great, it feels like a passion project from The Rock, and that alone makes me more interested.
It feels like it'll be entertaining.
Yeah, even if it's not great, like I have one concern, and that is I don't want The Rock. I don't want the character to just be The Rock, obviously. Yeah. And it doesn't look like that'll be the case. I don't want them to redeem him too quickly because they want him to be a hero. Like, let him be a bad guy for a while. Mm-hmm. But The Rock has been so interested in this for so long, and I don't think it's just because he wants to be a superhero. Like, I do think he has some specific interest in this. Mm-hmm. So even if it doesn't translate 100%, that alone, just because there's like a little nugget of... It's like, in a sense, almost like Aquaman. Like, Aquaman's not wonderful. James Wan did a good job, but like Jason Momoa is in love with this character. So hardcore. So I'm okay with mediocre movies as long as it's a really tangible feeling.
As long as you know that like they're doing this because they love it. They're not doing this to make money. They're doing this because they love to do this.
Exactly, and that's the thing with Black Adam that's making me really interested. Also, just visually, it does look really cool.
Visually, it does look very nice.
There's more Flash footage. It's not winning me over because I still don't like where it seems to be going, but it looks... I enjoyed the new footage more than I enjoyed the previous footage. It looks a little better.
The only things I'm looking forward to for movies are the Batman, or superhero anything media this year is the Batman, and like Moon Knight.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
And then neither one of us are going to be watching Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom for a while.
Nope.
I do think it does look good. I am looking forward to watching it, but we're both on the same page of giving Amber Turd money is mega cringe.
Yep.
Exclusive from The Hollywood Reporter, Ray Stevenson is going from sailing the ocean ways to sailing the space ways. The actor, who appeared in History Channel's Vikings, has joined Ahsoka, the next Star Wars live-action series gearing up to go into production at Lucasfilm and Disney+. The series centers on fan-favorite character Ahsoka Tano, a Jedi Knight survivor popular on the animation side of Star Wars who made her live-action debut in the second season of The Mandalorian and appeared in an episode of The Book of Boba Fett. Rosario Dawson is starring as the titular character, and the cast also includes Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ukrainian actress Ivana Sacco, and Australian thespian Natasha Liu Bordizzo. Hayden Christensen is reprising his role as Anakin Skywalker. It is unclear who Stevenson will play, but sources say he is a villain in the series and will play an admiral, though not Thrawn.
Dude, I didn't realize that he's coming back for Anakin.
You didn't know that Hayden's
I didn't realize that.
No, dude, Hayden's just like back.
Yeah, dude, Hayden's back, dude. I'm so excited for that. Also, they're wrong. She's a Padawan survivor, not a Jedi Knight.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I am very much so looking forward to that. I do think that is the show that has the most amount of time put into it behind the scenes. It seems like the Mandalorian itself, I think we talked about this a week or two ago. It seems like it sounded like they had like a 5-season plan or something. I might be wrong, but like Ahsoka, this is a live action sequel to Rebels, basically. I think it was originally going to be animated, and then they decided to switch it over when the TV stuff got popular again. So this just looks cool. I'm glad. I want the space. I want the space. Yes.
Oh, I want to see how she gets the white lightsabers. Actually,
it's in the book. I don't
book. Or?
Yeah, like a book. Like it's in the book. I could tell you verbally, but you don't care.
How did she get them?
She purified an Inquisitor's lightsaber. Like she took the crystals from it and she purified because you have to.
This was made before the last season of Clone Wars, right?
Yes, it was made. It was adapted from some scripts that they had left over, and then some stuff from Rebels.
Will the book be We'll see if the book will be canon.
Well, that's the thing, is the only stuff in the book that has been overwritten is just the stuff with what happened with Rex. Because we got the show that got somewhat revived. Mm-hmm. So it's everything except that section basically is still canon. But it's
like how in the Clone Wars cartoon, like the first ever Star Wars Clone Wars.
The 2003 one?
Yeah, the 2003 one, where they are protecting Palpatine. That's all canon.
Basically, yeah. Because that was also made from deleted scenes that they made in live action. At least
that scene is still canon because Obi-Wan said that Shakti was protecting...
Yeah.
It's in the moment
yes.
protecting the Chancellor.
Yeah, that stuff right at the end of that was also... some of that was made in live action and it got cut from Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
Not the same, not with Grievous, but some of it.
That sucks because, dude, Grievous was the best in that.
Oh, of course.
And in every other one, he's like a little bitch.
She's a little bitch. No, but
Am I okay over here?
I don't think so.
Fuck.
I know.
I'm getting pained.
I know. Yeah, but so in current canon, to make a crystal red, you have to like basically pour all of your evil and hatred into it, which is dope as shit. I know
that.
And then to do that, but to make them white, she's the only one who's done it. You can like
she's
touch
the only one that's done it.
That's what it seems like. You can like touch them, and then you can use your good vibes and like basically.
I love you, little crystal.
Yeah, you can cleanse them.
And then they bleed out of the blood.
Basically,
and they're like pure.
Yeah, I don't think they would be able to find a way to make that terribly relevant in the show. Probably.
I would love.
I want the space. Happened. I want the space whales back.
Space what?
Space whales. Because this is a sequel to Rebels, and it's a follow up to what happened with.
So I haven't finished Rebels, so I don't know about the space whales.
Space whales.
I just know what I need to know.
Space whales. On. I'm gonna go watch Rebels again. It's been a little bit.
I need to. I've watched Clone Wars yesterday, the last season, while I was building that Lego set.
Nice.
It was fantastic. I felt like a child again. Okay, so exclusive from Deadline.com, Netflix's Marvel series are coming home. Social media has been a buzz this morning about a notification added to the 6 Defenders Universe shows that they would only be available on Netflix until March 1st. Sources confirmed to the Deadline that Netflix's license for Marvel's Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Punisher, Iron Fist, and the Defenders Team-Up limited series is ending, and the rights to the shows is reverting to Disney. The company is keeping mum about its distribution plans for the suite of series. They are expected to be announced the show's new streaming home soon.
That's a lot of typos. Holy shit.
That was a lot of shit.
Made
by Disney.
You can skip all that. It's not really relevant.
Okay, so our Marvel shows are coming to Disney. So one of my buddies was talking to me about that at work, and they're like, "Oh, dude, your shows, they're leaving Netflix." I'm like, "They are?" And they're like, "Yeah, dude." And they're freaking out. I'm like, "Oh, they're just going to Disney." And they're like, "Oh, that makes sense." I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm like, we already got Daredevil back, and we already got Kingpin back. That already means that we're getting a whole
some of it to some extent at least. See, the thing with this that took me by surprise is, as far as I can remember, we were told publicly that Netflix was always going to have the distribution rights. Like because they produced them and they had the exclusive distribution, like they were allowed to keep them even after the license expired to make more stuff. Because it was like a year and a half ago, the rights started reverting back to Marvel to make the characters, and we started getting all excited. But like, this is kind of strange. And then I'm also of two minds. You would think they'd probably throw them on Hulu because Disney owns Hulu, because it would be more appropriate age-wise. But also, there are shows now, there's content now on Disney Plus that involves these characters, so they kind of should put it there. Mm-hmm. But it will feel kind of out of place to be scrolling through like freaking Pixar movies and then just pull up Daredevil.
Beat the shit out of someone. Jessica Jones
just got a bunch of fucking titties out. Just like, bruh.
Dude, Jessica Jones is great. I love titties.
This is going to be interesting. I do really, every time this gets brought up, I just hope that they aren't like, well, like, most of it's canon, but, like, we're going to recast Iron Fist, and, like, we're going to fix all of our... Like, just bring it all back. Fix it, make it better, but, like, bring everything back. Yeah, Don't do this selective canon shit. Marvel Studios released the first trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, coming to cinemas May 6th. Still very excited. Also, apparently, yay, Fox X-Men characters are going to be canon, I guess.
I didn't actually...
Did you not watch it?
I don't think I watched...
We're getting the Illuminati, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
But also, I think the Illuminati
I didn't see anything about
guys.
the X-Men.
Dude, we hear Patrick Stewart.
Oh, do we?
That's Patrick Stewart's voice.
I don't think I remember.
Yeah. So
I wasn't really paying attention to it because I kind of want to go into this movie like...
Same.
Like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, holy shit, my asshole's coming!
What the... Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I still have mixed feelings on that. I'm mostly excited because it's Sam Raimi, and I do trust him to make a good movie, even if I don't like the choices they're going to make.
Sure. Marvel Studios released the first TV spot and new poster for Moon Knight coming to Disney Plus March 30th. Oh, fuck my ass! Dude, I'm gonna be rereading my Moon Knight series before I watch this.
I just had a little bit of a seizure. Dude, the poster's so good.
Dude, everything looks so good. And
just wait. It'll all be shit.
I hope it doesn't. I will actually kill myself if it's that bad.
Same.
Because I've been a not long time Moon Knight fan, but I've been a Moon Knight fan for at least like 3 years now. Longer than this podcast, actually.
Ooh.
Because I think I read it.
Yeah.
Before the podcast. No.
What?
I was reading it first season of the podcast.
Yes.
Yep.
Moon Knight. From DCComics.com, since their debut on the all-new Super Friends Hour in 1977, Zan and Jaina, the extraterrestrial shapeshifters known as the Wonder Twins, have stood proudly in the shadow of the Justice League, but they're about to get their moment in the spotlight. As announced today in The Hollywood Reporter, a live-action Wonder Twins movie is now in development for HBO Max. Warner Bros. Has tapped Adam Stetskill to write and direct the film, who wrote the screenplay for the upcoming Black Adam. Marty Bowen and Wick Godfrey will produce the movie under their Temple Hill banner, which has a successful track record of producing films aimed at young adult audiences, including the Twilight and Maze Runner sagas. The film, which will be a part of the DCEU, is titled simply Wonder Twins. The movie's storyline is unknown at this point, but as an HBO Max original, it'll follow the other previously announced original DC movies coming to the service, including Batgirl, which is currently in production, and Blue Beetle. While Wonder Twins will be the most substantial live-action project to feature Zan and Jaina, it technically won't be their live-action debut. Don't you fucking dare.
I'm listening, I'm not farting.
The twins appeared in an episode of Smallville during the show's final season and also had something of a cameo on the CW's The Flash.
Oh.
In addition, Gleek made a quick appearance during the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event. I know nothing about these characters, but it's another movie,
I know
so
exactly
fun.
everything about Wonder Twins.
Oh, damn, bro. You got big brain?
I do. Basically, they have a monkey, that does things.
Wait, you weren't joking.
The monkey that does things. The sister actually can turn into things that are useful, and then the brother turns into a pail of water.
What?
Yeah. Basically, every single time they were in like the Super Friends, he was like a bucket of water half the time. Yeah.
That's something weird.
Do you know nothing about Wonder Twins?
No, I know the names, but that's it.
They're like...
They sound like meme characters. I'm so into
this. They kind of are. I can't remember if they're aliens because they have like elf ears or if they're something in like the earth or whatever. I don't know. I hate seltzer.
I hate you. Seltzer hates you. Peacemaker has also been renewed.
Fuck you! No! That's me!
Fine.
Peacemaker has been renewed for a second season with James Gunn writing and directing all the episodes. I love Peacemaker. It's one of my favorite shows this year so far.
Did you finish? You finished
yeah,
it, right?
Dude.
Okay, good. We get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't confirm that.
Dude, I'm like up to date on every episode.
That's what I thought, but you never know. Super excited. Also, I'm glad he's going to do all of it. That was one of the only things, the episodes that he wasn't directing were a little bit on the weaker side, but...
Mm-hmm. And yes, sure, some episodes are like mid, but like I still enjoyed it way more than other stupid...
I enjoyed it a lot more than The Suicide Squad, which I do feel like I need to rewatch, because I
rewatched it.
I feel like I might have just been in a weird spot at the time.
You were just pissed off. That movie's awesome.
Oh, no, I liked it. I enjoyed watching it for sure. It just, the comedy didn't really work for me at the time, but Peacemaker was way more up my alley. Anyways,
it's kind of like the same shit. So like when I watch Peacemaker and like Bloodsport do shit, I'm like, fuck. That's like me and Spencer.
Oh my god.
We're just like fucking, fuck you. Or like,
no
one gives a shit about what is it? No one gives a shit about a show off. And he's like, they do, if what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Yeah, no. Like, some of that was really funny. It was just a lot of the rest of it was like, yeah.
I love that.
Is it because I'm black?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, it's because he's like, they're children. They're children.
Yes.
They're big ass children,
Yes.
and that's us.
Anyways.
And you're also black and I'm white, so it works.
Clearly. From DCComics.com, when an unknown alien ship enters Earth atmosphere, disrupting global power and communications and plunging the planet into chaos, the world is left wondering, where is Superman when he is needed most? In the mysterious absence of the last son of Krypton, Batman must rally the rest of the Justice League to counter the alien threat. But first, he must quell a crime wave in the blacked-out streets of Gotham. Gary Whitta of Rogue One: A Star Wars Story and Derek Robertson of The Boys join forces to turn everything you think you know about Superman upside down in DC's new comic book miniseries Batman Fortress, launching this May. Quote, "This has been my first opportunity to collaborate with Oliver, co-creator Gary Whitta for DC on a character that is one of my all-time favorites to draw," end quote, says Robertson. Quote, "I'm having the best time creating the art for this series, and with my pal and the original The Boys editor Ben Abernathy at the helm, it's been a dream project with lots of fun twists and surprises ahead for the readers," end quote. Quote, "It's always been my dream to write a truly epic Batman story, one that draws inspiration from some dark and unexpected corners of the DC universe," end quote, says Whitta. Quote, "The opportunity to once again collaborate with my friend Derek Robertson makes this all the sweeter. I hope that together we've done justice to some of..." Bro. Puns, fuck you. "Done justice to some of DC's most iconic characters, while at the same time reinventing everything you thought you knew about them," end quote. Batman Fortress by Gary Whitta and Derek Robertson, a brutal and shocking 8-issue adventure that will challenge everything you think you know about Superman, launches on May 24th. This actually looks pretty interesting. It's also cool because they're people who don't have a whole lot of comics experience, and they're coming from a different medium. That I find most interesting. Also, spooky mystery about Superman. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, sure.
It's more Batman.
Yeah.
This next one makes me very horny.
Okay. Let me get it. Let me find it.
Yeah, get it.
Exclusive from CBR.com. Releasing June 7th, writer Ram V, Venom, The Many Deaths of Alalia Star, and artist Christian Ward's Suicide Squad and Invincible Kingdom will team up for Aquaman Andromeda. The 3-issue miniseries is billed as a psychological horror book that will put Arthur Curry Aquaman to the test in the depths of the Pacific Ocean. The plot synopsis for Aquaman Andromeda reads, "Deep in the Pacific Ocean, at the farthest possible distance from any land, sits Point Nemo, the spaceship graveyard. Since the dawn of the space race, the nations of the world have sent their crafts there on splashdown to sink beneath the silent seas. But there is something else at Point Nemo, a structure never made by human hands, and that structure seems to be waking up." Quote, a covert team of scientists, survivalists, and soldiers make up the crew of the experimental submarine Andromeda, a prototype deep-sea exploration vessel powered by a mysterious black hole drive, and they have been chosen to investigate the sunken mystery. But they aren't the only ones pursuing it. Anything of value beneath the ocean is of value to the master pirate, Black Manta. And anything that attracts Black Manta attracts Arthur Curry, his lifelong foe, the Aquaman. But heaven help them all when the doors of the mystery at Point Nemo swing wide to admit them. In an upcoming interview with CBR, Ram V said, "I went back and looked at everything to make sure that we were presenting a concept and an idea that genuinely felt fresh and new. Obviously, there have been a lot of great stories. Generally, the Aquaman stuff has tended to veer towards sort of this magic and fantasy route. I wanted to see if we could drop it into a different genre and make it work. I think of it as a sci-fi, horror, human character drama set inside a situation that has both literal and metaphoric pressure."
I am so bloody excited for this thing. 1, because it's another Black Label book that isn't Batman. 2, Aquaman. And Ram V is great. And the art is so
That's such a weird
cool.
look for Aquaman.
I love it.
It makes sense.
He looks like Barnacle Boy. He looks like he is part of the ocean. I freaking love that. Oh, the colors are so vibrant. Ugh.
I'll probably read this if it's just a 3-issue series.
Yeah, buddy. I might buy it as the issues come out, actually, which for me is very rare.
I'll probably do that. I've been doing that recently with, like, Robin and Batman, which is, it's worth every penny. And then I have been following the Nightwing run.
Ooh,
I won't be talking about that this week because I haven't read past, like, issue 6, but I did buy the ones that are released up to now.
Yeah, a lot of news. So
that was a lot of news. Holy shit.
So, my good sir, I think we both want to talk about the same thing for a good chunk of this.
Yeah, let's talk about Peacemaker.
Yeah, so Peacemaker was great. Big stonks. I remember...
Hardcore is hot, and we love her.
This is a given. I was just genuinely impressed on the whole. I wasn't really looking forward to it very much. It looked cool, and I was like, it's nice that it's getting, like, a spin-off and, like, whatever, but, like, I enjoyed this infinitely more than I thought I was going to.
Me too.
Like, holy cow.
It went to places I didn't think it was going to go to, and I thought it was kind of going to be, like, this guy was going to be stagnant, he wasn't going to grow, and he wasn't going to be, like, this person that you can actually relate to.
This character has, like, nothing to do with the comic version, and I do not care.
I don't know anything about the comic version, but I don't care because I like
this is great.
Version.
It's really cool.
And also, this is like John Cena's, like...
This might be his proper breakout role. Like,
yeah, it's like, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's like his actual breakout
like,
role.
he's done a good bit of acting for sure. I mean, he was in the fucking Fast and Furious, for fuck's sake.
Acted, but he was John Cena.
Yeah, this is his first really meaty role.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the Suicide Squad, I thought he was good, but I was like, okay, it is just John Cena, you know?
No, but I didn't feel that at all. It didn't seem like John Cena to me at all.
Whatever. But in this, they expand upon it so much, and I was really impressed that they didn't undercut what happened in that movie, and they expanded on it in a way that didn't feel like it's like...
Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah, like, it didn't... I don't know. It was weird because I was like, oh, they're gonna give him a redemption arc. Wasn't that like the coolest part of that movie? For me, it was like, oh, I actually have a bad guy to root against because he's like a massive piece of shit. But like, you could tell why he did it, but he's still a piece of shit. But he didn't seem that conflicted until basically Rick Flag spat in his face, and then it's like I love how this entire thing is obscenely goofy and very silly, and it does not take anything seriously, but it still goes over a lot of pretty important and very scary things in somehow a mature-ish fashion, while also making dick jokes the whole time.
And fetish jokes.
Lots of fetish jokes. The improv in this show is incredible.
Oh, yeah. Vigilante's so good. Okay, so I loved it when, like, he's in the hospital and he just casually jumps out. I'm like, this guy...
That's so funny.
He, like, actually knows what he's doing?
Kind of?
But because of how he, like, murders people, like, and how he, like, fights and shit. It's like, he knows what he's doing, but I think that's just because of how autistic he is.
He's definitely got something going on there. I think he's supposed to be a sociopath.
Yeah.
But he's a little autistic coded.
He's definitely autistic. Because of how he's just like, oh, okay, I can jump out this window casually. He's fine.
I like how they set up that character not just as a really good comedic relief, but also as a contrast to what Peacemaker basically just was. Like, he maintains his vigilante stays the same basically throughout the series, while Peacemaker changes, and you can see it's such a radical change for him. And I think I put it out in the group chat at some point in one episode. I appreciated. It's funny because a lot of these conversations, the way that they have them, are very jokey and memey, and it's in a sense it kind of reminds me of how we kind of talk about stuff. Yeah. Even if we're talking about really important things, we find a way to make banter about it. And it was I think it was in episode like 4 or 5 where they were. I believe they're talking about the detective, the main detective whose name I do not remember.
I don't know.
But the Asian lady. Yeah. And they were having like hardcore because fucking Peacemaker said basically like Asian woman or whatever, and then hardcore replied to that, and then Vigilante's like, yeah, like the Oriental woman, and then Peacemaker's like, you can't say that, and he's like, but why? And it's like Peacemaker doesn't know why. Like he doesn't know.
He doesn't know why he can't say these things, but he wants to be like a good person.
Exactly. Like, he doesn't understand everything, but he's very clearly trying.
Yeah.
Like, in the situation and raised the way that he was, it's a miracle he is as good as he is. Mm-hmm. Like, I really appreciated that. I need to find this because it's gonna kill me. I put something out there. It really, really got to me. Butthole. Oh, there we go. I think my favorite aspect of Peacemaker is the not subtle at all, yet not flashy handling of problematic people. Chris himself, obviously, he's not good, but he's working on it. He doesn't always know why something isn't really okay anymore, but he listens and works on it even while complaining. Mm-hmm. Relatable. So it's not in a... Like, he'll sit there and complain about, like, oh my gosh, I can't say that anymore, but, like, he'll still do it.
Yeah.
Because he's in the process of getting better, and I really appreciated that, because it walks a nice line of being insanely explicit about, yes, all these certain swaths of people and their beliefs are just absolutely abhorrent, and I will say it to your face and to the camera, and there's nothing redeeming here. But you can come away from that. It's not... Like it's a condemnation of what they believe, but it's not a condemnation of them as like people in entirety. Like you can come from an environment like he did, and you can still be better. Mm-hmm. I really like that because that's like you can't, frankly, you can't be someone from basically James Gunn's political perspective and mostly be into like restorative justice and whatever, and then be like, yeah, but if you've ever believed a bad thing, you're like doomed forever. Like you can't be like that. You have to give people the time and energy to grow and to develop and have patience as long as they're still trying. And that's something I really like about Chris, is that the whole show he's constantly getting better, even though he's still a dick.
Yeah.
Like, he's a dick, and he's a loudmouth, and half of the things he says are absurd, and none of his beliefs are coherent whatsoever, but, like, he's just trying constantly, and all the characters can see that. And also him holding Harcourt's hand at the end was so adorable. I did not think I was going to get sold on that romance at all.
I thought she was going to actually die.
You could have kind of gone either way with it, but...
I thought she was actually going to die. This is the first time that, like, a character's, like, almost death scene actually like got me. I was like, oh shit, she's gonna die, because I can see that happening.
I love how that was and then 10 seconds later that's followed up by Diebeard busting his leg on a fence.
Yeah. I was like, are you fucking kidding? He was even like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't do shit. But then he still crawled to them.
It was so funny. It's like Leota has her hero moment. She just goes ballistic.
Yeah, she's like, I'm made for this shit.
And then he just falls the fuck over. It's like, but it doesn't somehow, the timing and the presentation doesn't undercut the dramatic moments. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Really good. The production quality is great. I'm actually really impressed by the action on the whole. Mm-hmm. I thought it was way more weighty than the Suicide Squad was. I really liked it. Everything was oomphy. Just really good stuff all around. The weapons were fun. The helmets are so stupid.
Oh, I love the scabies. Gives everybody scabies.
Gives them fucking scabies.
You should get scabies once in your life, you know?
That's so fucking funny.
What the fuck? I actually miss... They blew up the house, didn't they? Or did they blow up, like,
yeah.
That sucks.
More helmets.
Because that whole room was so fucking cool.
I love how... it's just like, oh, yeah, by the way, the evil white supremacist villain has just this massive, like, weird portal room. Don't ask questions.
I want to do something with that concept. That's so cool.
It's Hermione's bag, but from Harry Potter. It's just, yeah.
It's every magical person's bag.
True. It's a non-liminal space. Anyways, really good all around. Just, yeah, I don't know. There's something about this show. I don't even know. It just hits a couple of really good spots. And then because I have to say it, the end cameo I did appreciate.
It was just saying.
Yeah, I understand why some people are annoyed. I personally, I would have loved to have seen every cast member's face. I would have loved if the League was complete. But because I would put my life on the fact that James Gunn had no control over that.
Yeah.
He was working with what he was allowed to do, because WB and Henry Cavill have a weird relationship right now. Henry wants to keep being Superman, but WB's retarded and they don't like him. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of up in the air. So, of course, they're going to use a silhouette. That's fine. Gal Gadot is, unless I'm mistaken, currently at home with her newborn, and won't be making movies for probably another 6 months. So she's not going to come on set. So that makes sense. We don't know what's happening with Ben right now, totally. So it makes sense that Batman wouldn't appear Ray Fisher doesn't want to be involved in DC productions until certain people are removed from power, so he's not going to get involved. And I'm very confident James Gunn wouldn't have tried dying on that hill to get him for that. Like, you work with what you have. And then freaking the Flash and Aquaman movies just finished wrapping. So these people were already acting, and we both know that both of those people are staying as those characters. And also, Aquaman was relevant because he was the one that they were joking the most about.
Mm-hmm.
So get over it. Like, this isn't James Gunn, like, going out of his way to fuck over people. He's not Joss Whedon too. Shut up.
I mean, honestly, if I couldn't get all of them, I would have rather had none of them.
Really?
Yeah, I would have been. I would have rather not see any of them, because that whole scene, that whole cameo scene, I could have lived without. But I don't hate it.
The thing about it that I think more than the actual joke itself, what makes me appreciate it and why I'm okay with not showing all the characters is, frankly, every single Marvel property, when a character either we know or we've been waiting for shows up, it's like watching a celebrity cameo on SNL or on The Simpsons. It's like everyone stops, like, look, guys, it's like, it's not organic world building at all.
Yeah.
Versus DC's had some mixed history with their cameos. This one just feels like they've been casually referenced, they exist, but like Peacemaker doesn't even give a shit. He's like, you guys are late, fuck you. And he just keeps walking.
Yeah, I like that.
It feels like, yeah, they exist, but like they showed up late, like oopsie doopsie. I liked that. Also, we do get multiple drops of various B and C level villains
Batmite.
And stuff, and Batmite, which is weird. And so
I would have
funny.
loved to see Batmite.
And Green
actually.
Arrow is now canon.
Yeah, that was so weird. Green Arrow's canon.
Whenever that Black Canary, either movie or series that they're working on shows up, we need Green Arrow. I will die. Ugh.
It's so funny that he's canon.
So funny. I did love the banter of that scene. Of course, Aquaman would say fuck.
Yeah.
This version of Aquaman would say fuck. If he was allowed to in his own movies, he'd be saying fuck all the time.
Yeah.
And the banter, it was so funny. It's like, I don't know, it's like, maybe the fish fucking joke itself is a little old now, but the banter itself and the timing was, it's like when we're talking, they're actual friends having banter. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm so tired of this. And he's like, it's not a joke though. He's like, fuck you. Like, it's so clear, it's so clearly fucking with him.
And he's just like,
yeah, it's friends having friendly banter.
Yeah.
Which clearly comic book fans don't know anything about because they don't have friends.
Yeah.
So get over it. It's fucking fine. I don't know.
I would have rather had none of them if I couldn't have all of them. But I understand the situation, so I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Basically, it's just how it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It was nice to see him again. The suits look nice. It was cool. I thought the silhouettes were done pretty tactfully. Like, it's clear that's like, okay, they just didn't have Henry Cavill's face. But like, in the way that it's shot, it's not, oh my gosh, we're the Justice League.
Yeah, no, they just showed up.
It's just like they're there, and then you're watching from Peacemaker's perspective. He doesn't care. He just keeps walking. We don't get this epic pan up into Superman's billowing cape. It's like you see like his foot. Because Peacemaker doesn't care. He's not even looking up at him. He's just keep walking. Because he has other things to do. And that, I like the casualness of it.
Also, it does make sense that there's just because you call it the Justice League doesn't mean all the Justice League is going to be there. Mm-hmm. You can definitely understand that Batman's a fucking part-timer most of the time.
Yeah.
In this universe, probably not so.
They are based out of his house.
But I can see like him doing other shit.
Bro, he's
busy.
Whatever. He's busy. He's busy fucking Selena Kyle, probably.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh no, he definitely know he's not eating her out because superheroes don't do that.
Superheroes don't do that. I love this show. I want to watch it again.
I probably will watch it again.
I really love how it was.
Sorry, I got excited.
I appreciate how it was serialized, but it didn't feel, frankly, like a Marvel Netflix show, which even the near perfection of Daredevil season 1 and 3 still sometimes feel like it's a 13-hour movie, which is true, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it still feels like those episodes kind of get cut off. Like they just are like, shit, it's been 45 minutes. They just got to chop it. And I've always hated that. You could not miss an episode of this. It's a short series. Everything is very important. It's not an episodic thing. You know, we're not talking a CW show here where you can miss 5 episodes and get caught back up. But every episode very much so felt contained, and I really liked that. Also, Myrn was cool.
We were just thinking the same. I miss Myrn.
Myrn was cool. I liked
that
all the twists.
That made me really sad. I actually almost got a tear out of me when that shit happened.
Oh, look at the little butterfly man.
Yeah,
so
dude, and he died.
I like
he was
how many
reaching up for her. I was like, oh.
I like how many twists there were.
I kind of called it to myself.
Evidence where?
Right at the beginning of the episode of this newest one, where I'm getting a recap and I see the cow and I'm looking at the cow and I'm like, there's a specific design. There's a reason why this cow is looking like this, and I'm like, this cow doesn't look bad. I mean, yeah, animals aren't always looking bad, but like when you have bad guys look
evil.
Bad guys look bad. Normally, bad guys are meant to look bad, and whatever they have is meant to look bad, right?
I like
this guy. This cow has giant fucking like beady baby eyes and whatever. It's like a giant baby looking thing. And then I was like, what if Mern was the bad guy, or just like they weren't really bad guys? And so we got to the point where it's like they're not really bad guys, but they are doing bad things.
That was the twist that I was like okay with it just being a. Oh, there was one rebel butterfly who thought it was bad. Like, I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But because this is an inherently political thing, and you're talking about groups of people and aliens, so I can't avoid this topic. But, like, when you're looking at it from James Gunn's pretty obvious perspectives on things, it wouldn't really make sense to have the just other race or species that we aren't familiar with just be bad because they're bad. Like, that doesn't totally fit. So it makes sense that it was like, yeah, they're coming, they're like, they're doing a Thanos, I guess. But like Peacemaker's still like, yeah, but we still get to choose. Like, that's not your call to make.
I like that.
I liked that. And
yeah,
I
do like that. That's like a discussion in this.
Well, what's the stupid bug's name? The head bug. Fuck. Oh, it was the one that was in like the Senator.
Oh, Goff.
Yeah, I like how he let Goff live, and Goff is just like it seems like they understood
each other
even after Peacemaker almost killed Goff. Goff still got away, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And then Goff just comes back in the end. It's like Goff's gonna die pretty soon. They're gonna run out of juice. But I like how at the end little bits just like, okay, fine, here's some your damn weird bug nectar shit. And then they're just chilling.
Yeah, what bug was that? That wasn't Goff.
That was Goff.
That was that? I thought Goff died.
No, that was Goff. He didn't blow Goff's head off. He got her in the gut.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, it escaped. But while he was carrying Leota out. And
I do like Goff. I do like that Goff isn't trying to like get in him. He's just like,
yeah, Goff's okay, yeah.
I accept that.
Also, Goff knows he's going to, like, even after that, you wouldn't come back from that. Like, the cow is dead. Like, you're fucked. So, just chill.
Chill until you die.
I also like the freaking hallucinations. I think that's cool. I like
that.
I hope they continue with that moving forward.
I like that there was no talking. He just sat there. Because that makes sense with a lot of, like...
You mean how hallucinations actually work? Yes.
How human, like, mental illness is. It's not like it's always active. Sometimes the shit just sits there.
You mean life isn't literally 13 Reasons Why, where I can talk to a hallucination for months on end?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
This show is my negative one reason. I now have one more reason to live.
Yeah, me too.
Big stonks. Moving on from
Peacemaker. Dude. Negative one reason because of that, Moon Knight, Obi-Wan,
Beyond the White
Batman, Beyond the White Knight.
Dude, we eating this year.
Dude, I'm eating ass.
Oh my god.
And it's good.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
This year.
So, other stuff that I did. I read Batman Urban Legends Volume 1, which is the first volume of the Urban Legends book. It is an anthology series. And I remember when this got announced, we talked about this. It was something I was kind of looking forward to. So it came out last year. It was the first 6 issues. There are 2 stories in each issue. There's 2 ongoing plot lines between all the issues. It's cool. It's $25. So the first story was written by Chip Zdarsky and penciled by Eddie Burrows. It is a Red Hood story. Oh, so good. It was short, which is sad because they're just naturally limited to basically 3 issues is what it turns into. But it was nice. Basically, Red Hood is in Gotham. He's on good terms with Batman, as good as it goes. He's using rubber bullets. He's not killing. He's vibing. He's in the mask and hoodie combo, which I know Collin hates.
Yeah, I don't really like it.
I kind of dig it.
I can live with it. I don't like it.
I get why you don't like it. I like some variety. I am getting the Red Hood look itself has never really changed, and that's fine. It looks good. It's just, it's nice to have a little bit of change here and there, and especially if he's going to try to be more of a good guy for a little while, it makes sense he'd want to do something a little less I don't know, bad guy looking. I don't know.
The Red Hood, that helmet doesn't even look bad guy looking.
Whatever. But I dig the hoodie with like his hair sticking out and whatever. Anyways, so he basically drugs happen. There are drugs, and it's a version of Scarecrow's formula, but it's inverted, so it's a happy drug. There's a character whose name I don't even remember, but one of the people who helped Crane make the Scarecrow toxin originally, her like husband or ex or whatever is like, I'm gonna make everyone be happy or whatever. So he starts. It's basically acid. Or it was probably more like ecstasy. I don't know, whatever. It's Scarecrow gas, but inverted, but it comes in like pills. So he's getting a bunch of people hooked on it, and most of the heart of this story is Red Hood. He finds a kid, and he rescues a kid from a situation his mom is overdosing. He gets her to the hospital. He's comforting this kid, very Batman-esque, and he tracks down the kid's dad, who is a massive fucking druggie. So he's a dealer. So he semi-accidentally kills this dude. So he has, whilst trying to do good, basically orphaned this kid. So he broke his temporary I'm in Gotham, I won't kill people rule. So he loses his marbles over it. He made a mistake, and he tries to comfort this kid while his mom's in the hospital. He's trying to like solve the mystery because this is a very personal thing for Red Hood. His parents were addicts and all sorts of fun. It's very good. There's some echoes of Red Hood turns into Batman in a sense. As this one little interaction that's absolutely adorable. He is talking to this kid, and because he's a child and he trusts the child, I guess, he takes his mask off and whatever, and he's trying to talk to the kid and get him to calm down. And in The Amazing Spider-Man, when Spider-Man is getting the kid out of the car, and he takes the mask off and he gives it to him, that's exactly what he does. He's like, you can be Blue Hood. And
he says Blue Hood
because the kid was wearing a blue hoodie.
Oh, I love that.
It's so good. So you have this like 6-year-old kid wearing this giant face mask, and of course it's hooked up to Oracle. So he's like, if something happens while I'm like not here, like just talk to Oracle and like she'll like whatever. It was really cool. Great stuff. He has some things with Batman. Batman shows up at the end and tries to take down the bad guy. Like they're both trying to sort out the mystery, but they have different methods and blah blah blah. And Batman doesn't go out in the daytime, but Red Hood's reckless and he goes out in the daytime and whatever. Red Hood learns to use his humanity a little bit more. It's really cool. He's actually a complex. He's not just an edgy boy. I'm so tired of Red Hood just being an edgy boy. I get it. It's more fun, but like it's nice having a lot of. He's a very complex character. And then at the end, Batman gets fucked up by the drug because it makes you like hallucinate. Like you're like if you didn't have any like wants in the world. So we see Batman is happy with Selina and all of the kids, and everyone's happy, and all the kids get along. And Batman is a sucker.
Of course, he wants that.
But Red Hood he's just because he's so fucked up, I guess. He knows that as he gets drugged, like he knows this isn't going to be real. He doesn't have enough hope anymore, frankly, to fall for it. But he ends up calling in the whole team, and they like save Batman. It's a nice little like family moment. It's cute. It was a nice wholesome story. While also dealing with drugs. And then the second story was penciled by Ryan Benjamin and written by Matthew Rosenberg. It's about Grifter. Do you know who the fuck Grifter is?
Grifter's the dude with the red and black mask, right?
Yes.
He uses guns or whatever. Yeah, I remember the only time I've ever seen him is in the animated Flashpoint.
Yes. So basically...
It's basically Red Hood.
Not really. I had like no familiarity with Grifter outside of I believe Joker War. It was the only other time I'd really seen him. He's not really a Batman related character. He's part of a team from the future or the past or whatever. Weird. He originally came from another company, so every time they acquire a new company, they have to do weird continuity multiverse stuff. Yeah. But he's part of a team. It's like a Spec Ops team, and he is enhanced a bit. So he's kind of Red Hood-esque, but he's like just uber competent, quote unquote, or that's what he projects himself as. He's actually wildly incompetent. He constantly gets his ass handed to him and he falls over and gets his butt whooped all the time. Everyone knows who his identity is. He's just totally fucked up all the time. But he works for whoever has the most amount of money. Literally. He sort of has a moral compass, but not really. So he's
like young Boba Fett.
Sure, I guess. That's where the name comes from, is a grifter. A grifter is someone whose beliefs change based on usually a monetary gain. So that's where like his name comes from. He's a mercenary who has other aims, but those are all weird behind the scenes stuff. He works for Lucius at doing his personal security, but he's actually there to kill Lucius, but he's actually not there to kill Lucius because he's working for another organization that wants him to subvert the other organization. It's 80 layers of subversion. It was really confusing for me just because I have no familiarity with the character or the supporting characters, but it was an interesting story watching this dude play 80,000 D chess. It was a lot, but it was pretty fun. The dialogue was nice. The action was cool. He accidentally traps Superman. He was trying to get Batman. Like, he pays Deathstroke to fight him, so they'll attract Batman's attention. But instead of getting Batman, they get Superman. It's really funny. And he openly admits that Superman is like the most gorgeous human being. It's really funny. Wow. It's really funny. I enjoyed it. It just it wasn't just quite up my alley. Because I'm just not as familiar with it, but I do want to look further into it. It was $25. I thought it was well worth it. I'm very much looking forward to the next one, which is, I believe, a Batman story and a Tim Drake story is the next 6 issues. So I'm looking forward to that. Collin, what have you been up to, my duderino?
I can't get my app running, so ask me a question.
Sir, that's so sad.
Because I have been reading a Darth Vader comic. I can't talk about it since the app's not working.
Damn,
that's
bro.
where I've read it.
Damn, bro. If there was one comic, movie, TV series, something in a fandom that you could remove from ever existing, what would it be and why? So this includes all butterfly effects out of it.
So say that question again. What
movie, TV show, comic book, whatever, would you remove from existence from any fandom? And obviously all the butterfly effects that come out of that.
I can only choose one?
Yes, just the one. Which may cause a very large chain reaction of other things not being done as well.
The Flash. The show The Flash.
Ooh.
I think I'd probably remove that.
Well, really?
Or, so wait, butterfly effect works?
Yes.
So by remove, I can do like cancellation at a specific time? Or
sure.
it ever... Okay. I would cancel Arrow after season 2. Right there.
I thought that might be where
that's it. It stopped right there.
So then all the rest of the shows don't exist.
Yup.
Nice.
Yup.
But then Superman and Lois doesn't exist.
That's fine. It's not that great.
Yeah. Interesting.
But Swamp Thing exists, though.
Yes, because it's not a CW property. That was a...
Oh, was it?
No.
Oh.
It's getting rerun on CW, but it wasn't made for CW.
Okay, because I love Swamp Thing.
That was great.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would go... With that, I would go further back than you. I would make Smallville never exist. I do like Smallville.
Constantine!
I like Smallville. I'll take the hit of that Constantine show dipping down. And Superman and Lois, which I think is the next highest up quality that they have. And I like Smallville. I have very fond memories of it. But that was the last time that the CW was actually making money. None of the shows for the past decade have been making them any money. Like, since Arrow started. Mm-hmm. They've always been in the hole, and everything is bad and shit, and I hate all of it. But that started because of Smallville. Smallville was what made them have a superhero boom. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, yeah, we should do that. And then it took them a little while to get the ball rolling. But then they started up with Arrow. And I think... if we remove Smallville from the equation, there's even less evil in this world. I mean, there's a bajillion things we could...
I don't think I'd get rid of Constantine.
Dude, that show's connected to nothing. That's the
Doesn't matter. It's good.
It's not that good.
It's connected
like it's
to Arrow.
good. It's good technically.
Not technically, it is.
It is, but they barely reference anything from the show. They pulled the character in. Nothing from the show matters.
Character and the same actor, so
yes,
so it counts.
Well, of course it does. I'm not saying it's not canon. It's just it's like it's like the Incredible Hulk. Hulk is canon. The whole thing is canon. The character of the Hulk is canon. Like Ross comes back, but like nothing else matters.
Sure.
Whatever. But
the reason why is because I think it's a really good show and it does a lot of really good things.
It's good
from the original Sins.
It's good. It's just I don't know. I don't know if it's worth all of that heartache. Honestly, I would even get rid of the first couple seasons of Arrow. Like it's good, but it's not like.
I probably cancel it. Okay, so I cancel it after season 1. Season 1's the only thing that ever aired from Arrow.
Fine.
Final answer. Final answer.
I still feel like maybe I'm just a contrarian asshole, but I feel like even early Arrow wasn't like amazing. Like it was good, but it was like people are like it was groundbreaking TV. No, dude, it was filled with Twilight jokes.
No, it was just good.
Like it was good for being the CW.
Yeah,
it was competent, but it's not. It's not prime time CW.
I need to rewatch it to see if like it is actually that good because I remember when it came out.
I think the heights of the CW, the most of the DC TV shows and all the CW stuff is still not as high as the lows of the Marvel Netflix stuff. And some of that stuff got pretty damn low, in my opinion. Meaning mostly Defenders and Daredevil Season 2. I'll take the messiness of everything else, but the whole let's not develop any characters at all because we need to have Sigourney Weaver and that shit is low. That is some low tier stuff. And that is still about as good as the CW got. It was competent.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, do you have any final thoughts, my good sir?
No.
Cool.
Really?
A massive thank you to Jacob for having to edit this monstrosity.
Thank God.
Sorry, buddy.
I can smell my fart through the recording.
Probably. And another thank you to our patrons over at patreon.com/dimecomicbros, Wesley Eaton, Jeff Lawrence, and Dave. If you want to get your name mentioned at the end of all of our episodes, get sketches done by Collin, get some stickers, all sorts of fun stuff, you can go check out our Patreon. Obviously, we understand if you don't have money, that's cool. We're all poor, so it's fine. Also, a massive thank you to our partners over at Jetpack Comics and Games in Rochester, New Hampshire. They got comics, they got games, they got board games, they got D&D, they got minifigs, they have dice, they got card games, they got video games, they got a pinball machine, they got posters, t-shirts, masks, pins, buttons, magnets, a bunch of cool people. Lots of stuff, variant covers, the whole 9 yards. Go give them your money. Tell them that we sent you. We have stickers all over their door right now. Go check out our website at dimecomicbros.com. Send us an email at dimecomicbros@gmail.com. If you have some reason to email us, I don't know why, it's available. It's a public access email. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram for all sorts of weird memes. Jacob's going to keep photoshopping us into less and less clothes, and I'm getting very uncomfortable. But it's fun. It's all in good fun. Next week, we will be discussing the second Headlopper collected edition, which will be very fun. Collin, sadly, will not be present for that. It'll just be Jacob and I.
Yeah.
Me and my dad. Go check out our other podcast, Dime Gaming Bros, available on all audio platforms as well as YouTube. We have a once-a-month podcast. The month of February, which is when we are currently recording, so that would be episode 3 for February, was Doom from 2016 and Mass Effect. So that's where Jacob and I just go over some games, gaming news, tech, stonks, all sorts of fun stuff. Make fun of Collin a lot. Yeah, go check that out and give us likes and clicks and reviews and ratings and all that stuff. You know what to do. You know how content works on the internet.
Yeah, shit your pants.
Yeah. That's it. Collin showed me thighs. I'm getting distracted.
Me too. I'm getting distracted by Ray Fisher right now.
Is he being based as shit again?
No, I saw that we commented on Warner Brothers, and they're talking about iconic black movies more than a month, and they refuse to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Of course.
Because, and everyone, I see the comments of everyone's like,
it's
I
just
stand
them,
with Ray Fisher.
They're just getting ass blasted over Ray Fisher right now.
And same with, with the guy who was supposed to be Green Lantern.
Yep.
John Stewart.
Wayne T. Carr. Yes.
Wayne T. Carr. Yep.
Yeah.
They are literally getting ass blasted.
Oh yeah, I'll just say it because Jacob. I want you to leave this in.
Nope.
Fuck WB. We stand with Ray Fisher. You can go get fucked.
Yeah. Suck my tiny little chode, bitches.
Yeah. Cool. I think we're done. Oh, my butt hurts.
My skin feels wrong.
Same. Your skin does feel wrong on my dick.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass.
No, not you. Kiss your ass any day.
No shit. You're a cuck.
You're literally the biggest cuck I know.
How?
You just are. Have you looked at yourself?
I have never seen myself in a mirror, no.
Oh. So it's just water?
Warner Bros. Declined to comment, but it is believed that the studio and Zansco are already at odds over who controls what it... Warner Bros. Has tapped that ass. Oh, fuck you. Jacob, you have to listen to this in post. I'm sorry.